what are the white label options that you have that you can utilize, okay? After this session, we're gonna have a break, and then I'm gonna take you guys through the process of how do you really link the buttons with the payment, and how do you really link the buttons with your login page for your white label, okay? All right, so what are the options in the white label that are available for you to customize? So look at the screen, don't do the same thing that I'm doing right now. Just look at the screen and understand, and then you can do it by yourself later on. So in white label, if you go to settings, so here you can add more credits that you can add to your users as well. Let's say you have a strategy where you want to give some credits to your users first. So you have to buy some credits in your account first and then pass them on. Let's say I want to give, 500 credits to my users. Because I have just one user here, it's telling me that I require 500 credits in my account to pass on to all the users. If I had 3 users here, then it would have told me that I need a total of 1,500 credits. And if I have just 1,000, I can buy more and pass more credits to all of my users. Okay, now you can export the list of your users that are here in a CSV format if you want to do some analysis. What are the other things that you can do when you add a user? By the way, how do you add a user? So you click on add user, put their first name and last name, put their email address. I'll tell you what the role is. Hold on to that. I'm going to cover that in a second. And then click on send invite email. When you click on send invite email, it sends them a username and a password. Password is auto-generated so that they're able to log into your white label, okay? So this will be their username, which is their email address, and a password is auto-generated, all right? That's how you add a user. Can we automate the user creation? Yes. The way when you subscribed to Deal.AI or when you subscribe to Pledge, your user was auto-created. You as a user, your user ID and password was auto-created. That process can be automated. Once you hit 30 users in your white label, reach out to me. I'll have my team automate the process for you. If you cannot wait, you want to do it by yourself, you go to settings. In white label, go to settings, and in settings, enable API here and go through the documentation. So there is this entire documentation that you can go through and automate the process. If you don't know how to do it, add 30 users by yourself, get 30 users, paying subscribers. Let me know. I will get my team automate the process for you, okay? Now, what are the other settings that you can change in white label? Let me create this first. So there are 2 ways. So let's say you have this dashboard which has 50 apps in it, okay? There's 50 apps in it. So this is, let's say, your dashboard or your white label. Okay? It has 50 apps. And what you want to do is you want to create different tiers, and you want to give access to 15 apps in tier 1. You want to give access to 35 apps in tier 2. And you want to give access to 50 apps in tier 3. Now, when I say apps, your apps can be either through AI App Wizard, or it can be through AI Document Wizard, or it can be through AI Personalities, or it can be through Academy, or it can be through live training. So you can create whatever combination, permutation, computation you want to apply and create different tiers. Now, creating tiers, different tiers also has two options. So option one is only show the apps that you want your users to access. Okay, that's option one. Option two is show apps that you want your users to use, plus buy other apps that aren't the part of that tier. So these are the two options that you have. So let's say you want to show 15 apps. You don't want to show more than 15 apps. That's one option. Or you can show 50 apps, all of the 50 apps, and you can only give access to 15 and block the rest of the apps. And when they click on the 16th or the other apps that are there that are not part of the tier one, they will have to pay extra for that app. For example, some of the attendees today, they did not have the enterprise package. And because they did not have enterprise package, they had to buy the AI app wizard in addition to their package, right? So the AI app wizard was visible, but it was locked. So if you unlock it, you'll be able to use it, and that's at additional cost. But if you subscribe to the enterprise package, all the apps get unlocked. Okay. So option one, you only show the apps that you want your users to use. Option two, you show whatever apps you want to show, but lock some of the apps and unlock the rest of them. So how do you really do that? Let's do the first option, where you only show the relevant apps. Let me make some changes and I'll tell you what these changes are when I'm covering this part. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so you can create different roles. Roles are the tiers that I just talked about. So if I click on roles, and if I create a new role, click on create new role, and I can select, I can give a name. What name do I want to give? Let's say I want to give premium as a name to one of the tiers, and I can select what apps I want to give access to, and I can unselect the ones that I don't want to give access to. If I select all the apps are selected. If I unselect all, none of the apps are selected, and I can manually select, excuse me, one by one. So let's say in the premium one, I want to give access to all the apps. Okay, so let me select all. So all the apps are here, and I create role. So now I created these two roles beforehand itself. So that's why you're seeing these two roles already there. In your case, if you've never created a role, you'll not see anything here. But this is how you create a role. You click on create new role, give a name of that role, and select whatever apps you want to select. Okay. Now, let's say for this user, I want to assign a basic role. Okay. So how do I really do that is I go to my white label. I see the user here. I click on these three dots and I click on edit role. And if I give access to the basic role, you will see I only have access to 3 apps, because if you remember, under basic, I only have 3 apps that I've given access to: hero images, scroll stopping ads, logo maker. Hero images, scroll stopping ads, logo maker. Okay. Now, if I want to, let's say this user upgraded to the next level. Let's say they upgraded to the default role, and I gave them the default role. That's the name of my role. And now if you see here, default role has these many apps. And when I refresh my screen, I have more apps here. And let's say the user upgraded to the next role, premium, change role. And if you see, there are all the apps here. And when I refresh, okay, you see more apps. So in this case, I'm showing all the apps that the user can use. Now, the second option that we talked about, I'm just going to change it to basic, the role for the sake of this exercise. Okay. Now, I have 3 apps here. Hero images, scroll stopping, logo maker. And let's say I want to block or lock one of these apps. What do I do is I go to monetization. I enable this option here, per app pricing. By default, this option is off. What this means is every app that is here in this role will be usable by the user without paying anything extra. All the apps are unlocked with the subscription they have. In the apps you see, you will not see anything special here, just the list of all the apps that are there. Okay. Now in monetization, if I turn this option on, I go to apps, you see this drop down starts appearing. Okay, and here I can select how much do I want to charge in addition to the membership or in addition to the subscription. How much do I want to charge for one of these apps? So let's say for hero images, I don't want to include it for free in the basic subscription. I want the user to pay 10 a month extra on top of the subscription that they've subscribed for. So now, leaving the hero images app out, I can access these 2 apps without any problem. I can use this one. I can use logo maker as well. But when I click on hero images, it's locked. And when I click on unlock access, it's asking me to pay 10 a month extra. Okay. So similarly, you can do this. So let's say I want to give a premium role access to this user. So I'm showing all the apps to this user now, but I want to block 10 apps. So let's say I blocked this. Let's say I want to block wizard apps as well. And I want to charge 10 for this. Let's say I want to charge for this as well. So I can now show all the apps and I can block some. Okay. So if you see here, we blocked AI domain wizard and app wizard. So when I'm going to go to the domain wizard, this app will be locked and I'll have to unlock it for 6 a month extra. So with roles, you can make the apps visible based on whatever role they select. And with the monetization and selecting a specific price for the app, you can have the user pay extra for that specific app. Okay. Now, what are the other options in monetization? Other options in monetization are, if you want your users to white label your platform, your dashboard. So let's say you created some of your apps. For example, Pledge.AI. I created all of the apps over there. In addition, and I added a few apps from Deal.AI. And I want my users to white label Pledge. So when I enable this, I can select how much do I want to charge for my white label when somebody wants to sign up, subscribe to my white label, and how much am I going to charge them per seat. Okay, so you can enable white label for your dashboard as well, for your platform as well. So if whatever apps you create, you can enable that white label for your users. That's your white label. Affiliate app. if somebody wants to sell your product under your brand without white labeling it, like no need to white label, but whenever they sell the product, you give them a commission. How do you do that is you enable this affiliate app and then you keep a price, like how much do you want your affiliate to sell that your platform for? And when they sell that, how much do you want to keep and how much you want to give them? You can adjust that from the slider here. My recommendation, give most of the sales profit to, get most of the revenue to your affiliate, keep less for yourself so that they're motivated to sell more and more. Team app is not one of the mostly used apps. I'm not going to talk about it to avoid confusion. Enable domain purchases in your domains app. Do you want your users to buy domain? You want to enable them to buy domain from your white label or not? This option, yes or no. Same, do you want your users to be able to buy email addresses? Yes or no. Do you want your users to be able to buy a phone number from your white label? Yes or no. Same goes for Precision Image Model app. Now, these three apps are paid. Like you've got to pay extra to use this. So it's up to you. You want to enable these and give access to your users or not. Okay. So those are the various options that we have at the white label settings.